Okay. All right, good. Okay. So, first off, I'm going to explain two things to you here. Both of them were dumbasses here. Okay? Shooting was justified, but with that being said, the officer was also a dumbass here. And I'm going to explain why. Number one, just as you mentioned, he's in front of the car, and which is one place that you should never be in front of someone's car, especially since in June he already got ran over by a car for standing in front of a car. He should have already been reprimanded for that. Now, with that being said, that woman listened to her wife. Wife, if you hear on the other main video, she says, "Go, baby, go," meaning to take off there. And when you have an officer and has a vehicle coming right forward to you, you only have 2 seconds to decide to think what to do. Okay? Now, he could have moved out of the way,
He did.
or he could have shot her in order to keep her from running him over there. Okay? He put himself in the position, but at the same time, she had no reason to try to take off there. Because, when you have a vehicle coming at you, you got 2 seconds to decide. You don't have time to look down and see where the wheels are turning and everything like that.
He moved out of the way.
Everybody has been analyzing that for days, literally for
Look,
days.
Vince,
Whereas this person only had 2 seconds here.
he
It's just in my case, justified, but then again, he shouldn't have put himself in there to begin with there.
he did in fact move out of the way, and he only started shooting when he was next to the vehicle already safe, and there was no
No,
risk of her running him over.
no, if he was on the side, then the bullet would have came into the side there. When he shot the gun there, you could take if you take a look
You
at
you
the
can
top video, there's no way that a bullet can go through the front of the front window if he's standing on the side.
yes
That's
yes you can.
impossible.
D-
It
do
can't
do I
happen there.
do I need to show you?
Did you see the second angle where
I'm
the
sorry.
cop was directly filming in front?
Oh my
Because
fucking
you're seeing
god.
the back you're seeing the back angle. Did you see the actual body cam of that officer?
Okay,
You've not.
I'll uh,
Go ahead and
I'll
look.
show you in Photoshop.
Okay.
Give me a second. I'll share my
Hmm.
screen. I'll just do a
This
quick
stupid
doodle.
Discord ain't working too well. This thing's
I'll do a quick Google in
is yours
Photoshop,
working
okay?
fine?
Yeah, mine's working fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say this is the car. All right, so say that's the windshield with the pillar at the front. All right, so the car is moving in this direction, and here's the officer. He can shoot into the windshield while being out of the way.
No, that guy shot, but there was another person in front though. That's why I wanted you to look at the other
Yes, he
body
was
cam video.
here, and then he moved here. This is starting to look like a penis. But he was here, he moved to the side, and then he opened fire when he was out of the way.
Cousin, I'm not talking
So,
about that guy. There's another guy up top there. I tell you what. Have you seen the front end video from the body cam from the officer from where the lady almost tried to run him
yeah,
over?
I've seen all of it. I've seen the three angles
Uh,
from people filming and the body cam footage. You can see in the body
okay,
cam footage he
I'm not
started shooting when he was out of the way.
okay. I'm not talking about the camera angle. I want you to count the time between when the vehicle began and when it was about to hit him, or actually, it did actually hit him. You're counting less than 2 seconds, so you have literally less than 2 seconds here. It's what's called a gut reaction there.
I don't
Okay,
think
that's
the
why he's not going to be. That's not why. That's That's why he's not going to be charged there,
That
Kevin.
wasn't a gut
But at the
reaction.
same
Let me.
time, at the same time, he shouldn't even been there to begin with. He should not have been standing in front of the car. He's already got hit back in June.
Wait.
It's just a matter
Officer
of, and
shooting.
I hate to say this, but it's just a matter of two idiots meeting each other, and when two idiots meet each other, you end up with shit like this
And then
here.
Ryan,
In fact, he shouldn't have never. The minute he already got hit by a vehicle, he should have been reprimanded. He should have been on desk duty. He should not have been out there to begin with. I'll say that right now. And she should not have even driven, knowing the risk that someone could actually put a bullet through. Literally speaking, he could have moved out of the way, but he chose instead to shoot her.
Okay, so
Which while it's a dumb idea, but in the eyes of the law, it does make it justified because he has a reasonable he has, I guess, a reasonable means to where his life is being threatened.
no.
It doesn't matter if
So
he's an idiot for standing in
so
front, though.
let's watch the video here.
No, I want to see the front video.
I'm not mad. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former. You want to come at us? You want to come at us?
So this was the
this.
I think this was the one ICE officer who was using his cell phone to record, or is it where this was the body cam? Yeah,
Okay.
this was the body cam, I think. Might be in a cell phone or a body cam. I can't. Okay, let me see if I can find the other angle.
I think it's a body cam.
Yeah. ICE shooting. All angles. Let me see if I can just find. So this is the surveillance footage.
Ben, I'm not really justifying anything. It's just two idiots meeting each other. That's it.
So there he is in front of the car.
I can't see the video.
Oh, you can't see the video?
Yeah, it got me screenshot.
Wait, So he was in front of the car here.
Yeah,
So
like a
you can
dumbass.
see where he popped off. Right there.
Right.
He's literally next to the vehicle. He's not even in the way. So there's the muzzle
Right.
flash. He's out of the way.
Right, in 2 seconds. And how far was he there and the time it took for her to come up? That's like almost 2 seconds here. Like I said, you have one end to where the lady shouldn't have been trying to block the road to begin with there. She intentionally blocked the road to start a confrontation. She's been going to meetings. They even got a little pamphlet to how to, basically resist and agitate and mess with, police, not just ICE, but also police officers. So long before ICE was there, she was up there harassing police officers here. Like I said,
Okay, look.
which is a really bad idea. And when it comes to things like this here, cousin, my whole point is that sometimes in life, when you go and make a fool of yourself there, you actually have unintended consequences. Most people, including myself, if I was in that position of the officer, first off, I wouldn't even be standing there. And two, I would just let her drive off there.
Okay, so
But eventually, you're going to always run into. Eventually, you're going to run into a dumbass that is going to shoot into the vehicle there.
So you agree?
But
So you agree he started shooting when he was out of the way of the vehicle?
no, he was still in the way of the vehicle there. It makes it justified.
You
because
literally
she
saw-
was being an idiot driving there.
You literally saw him beside the vehicle, out of the way, when the muzzle flash went off.
Yeah, because he moved. It took 2 seconds for him to move out of the way.
Right, so he was out of the way. So he was out of the way when he started shooting. You agree with that fact?
Okay. No, because in the eyes of the law, it's a justified shooting.
Okay, that has nothing to do with it being justified. I'm just asking if you can agree with the fact he was out of the way when the first shot was fired. You can say it's still justified. So he was out of the way when the first shot was fired.
Yeah, he already shot. Okay. He already fired. He already killed her long before he got out of the way.
Okay, was he in the way or not when the first shot was fired?
There was a total of 3 shots. There was a total of 3 shots in all. The one in the front, and then he moved to the side, and then he, for some odd, strange reason, he shot
it's almost as if he wanted to kill her. So if this is self-defense,
he wanted to kill her.
Yeah, so if this was self-defense, why would he keep shooting if he's next to the vehicle?
I didn't say nothing about self-defense. I'm just letting you know, in the eyes of the law, they call that justified. But honestly, I wouldn't even have had him out there to begin with.
Okay, so...
Because he's already... Simply for the fact that he's already been run over by another vehicle, and that's probably where that whole thing comes from, the reason why he shot, because here he goes, he's going to get run over again. Like I said before, when you do foolish things, you have unintended consequences. She had no reason to go drive up
Vince,
in front of that officer.
I just want to resolve this one fact. Was he out of the way when the first shot was fired? He might have been pulling out his gun.
He was still in the way.
We literally just showed.
He shot the first time, and then he shot around the side of the window.
And when the first shot was fired, he was still sort of in front of the vehicle, but he was out of the way.
He still... Okay, cousin?
He wasn't directly next to the vehicle.
He was not completely...
It was to the side.
He was not completely out of the way. He was halfway out of the way.
He was completely out of the way. We literally saw where the muzzle flash was.
This is a matter of 2 seconds here. Like I said before, everyone's been analyzing this for days.
Yes, I know.
That guy only had maybe 2 seconds to think about it there. Now, he could have fully moved out of the way without shooting, but he shot.
Okay, we're not right now,
brother. Hey, let me finish.
You're changing the topic. We're not we can grant that right now.
You said that it wasn't justified, and I'm saying it was justified.
I'm
not debating the fact that he was an idiot for shooting.
We need to resolve this disagreement of whether or not he was in the way when the first shot was fired. I literally just showed the footage where you can see, luckily, because of the vertical sync of the camera, you can see where the first muzzle flash was popped off.
It appeared that he was still in the way there.
He was clearly out of the way. You could see the entire front of the vehicle, and he was to the side.
Right.
So he was not in the way.
He was still shooting. He was in front of the vehicle when that thing started going. Okay, let me add.
You can see the direction of the car. And you can see that he was...
Cousin. All right, so let's put this aside. Before any bullets got popped off there, was he in front of the vehicle when she decided to take off?
Yes.
There you go.
When the car was moving, he was in front.
The minute... Okay, cousin, U.S. law, the minute that she went and peeled off, put her foot on the gas pedal, and lurched in front of that officer, U.S. law makes it justified. Now, I hate to tell you this,
we can debate that.
My debate is only about justification there. Now, with that, most normal people like myself,
there's multiple aspects to this. So, again, there's multiple aspects to that. It's not so simple. So, can we agree? So, let's hear. We agree. He was in front of the vehicle when she started moving forward. Now, she wasn't moving forward very fast. It wasn't like she just gunned it. You could see the vehicle first slowly moved forward, then it sped up. Now, he was in front of the vehicle when it first started moving forward. He jumped to the side, and when the first shot was fired, he was clearly out of the way. Now, you could argue... Wait. You could argue, okay, it's a split-second decision, tensions are high, he might not have, hindsight's 20/20, He might have not been thinking totally clearly, but can we agree with the fact that he was in fact out of the way of the vehicle when the first shot was fired?
He was out of the way with the second shot, not with the first shot. And not only
Oh,
that,
okay.
there
We
he was
literally
not
just saw the
okay.
footage.
She was not moving slow. She had just started the accelerator. I mean, a vehicle goes from 0 on up there, so it had not moved far enough to where it could accelerate. Now, here's the thing: once he shot her, you saw how fast that vehicle accelerated. Well, I mean, on the other hand, she was already dead, so her foot was probably on the gas pedal anyway. But it's like I said, the shooting was justified, but both of them were idiots. The responsibility still falls upon the officer number one or whoever his supervisor is. He should have never even been out there to begin with there. But at this point in time, here we are. She wanted an altercation. She got it. She went and listened to her wife saying, "Go baby, go." That's why her wife was up there getting on the news and saying it was my fault, it was my fault, it was my fault. But I mean, like I said before, just because something's justified doesn't make it right. I didn't say at any point in time that what he did was right, but in terms of justified, that's US law, And that's US law. I don't make the rules on what laws are in place. There's plenty of laws right now that are going on, transgender rights that are just literally screwing people, but you can't do anything about it there. My whole point in contention is it's just two idiots meeting each other. And when two idiots meet each other, shit happens. She shouldn't have accelerated. He shouldn't have been out there. He should have just simply moved out of the way without the gunshots here. But U.S. law says that it's justified, though. And both of them, she's raised $1.5 million. I think he's raised now $750,000, and it's actually going up. He'll probably. It looks like some people will be millionaires, and the lady's probably going to be on a fucking mural with George Floyd or something.
Give me a second. I'm trying to find. Oh my god, this fucking cat. I'm trying to. For some reason, it looks like the third angle from the one side was scrubbed.
But I mean, I'm not saying. I do somewhat see your point there. I mean, the other two shots were completely unnecessary from the side because he already done hit her in the head the first shot, though. But then again, he could have just moved out of the way.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to find the third angle. Okay. This should... Okay, you see this?
Give me a screenshot.
What do you mean a screenshot? Can you see the video?
I can't see anything.
Okay, let me try.
I told you this Discord thing doesn't work right these days. That's why I stopped using it. Nah.
Well, I can't show a screenshot because you need to see the video.
Okay, give me I tell you what, here's what I'll do. Let me...
Okay, I'll link it.
You're looking at the body cam picture, right?
No.
Okay.
I'll link you the video on Discord if you can't see it.
Alright.
Literally, first shot, you can see where the gun goes off.
That's not the one I'm talking about.
Well, you can see where the first shot goes off.
That's not the angle that I'm talking.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you can see the guy's out of the way. So
that's not the guy.
You inch forward.
There's another guy right above him. I'm not talking about this guy. There's another guy there.
We're talking about the shooter. So that's where the first shot popped off.
This isn't the guy. Watch.
What do you mean this isn't the guy? You can see him shoot. That was the shooter.
No, there's another See that? There's another... I'll tell you what. Here's what I'll do. Give me just a minute. Hold on. Because you got the wrong angle. You got the wrong angle.
Are we talking about the shooter?
Yeah, we're talking about it. Hold on. I got you.
Well,
I got
he's
you.
right there.
I got you here. Hold on. I want you to get the officer's perspective. That's what I want you to see specifically.
You can literally see that was the first shot.
It on my live stream. I played it on my live stream.
And he's literally next to the car.
I got it right here. Hold on. Let me make sure that this one's it.
Just link it in the Discord chat so I can bring it up on my stream.
Yep, this one's it. Hold on. I'm going to share this with you here. Maybe that doesn't work. Hold on. I got it. This piece of shit. Okay. There we go. That angle. Now check that one out.
Brand new cell phone video. We've obtained the video. The video is
that right there is the money shot.
We don't change our plates every morning. It'll be the same.
We already saw this one.
Go play it again.
You want to come at us?
And you'll see my point
get
there.
Yourself some lunch, big boy.
Because that's the main.
This was the shooter.
I saw that one there first. I wanted to see the perspective there. Trust me, this one, and it's right at the very end.
Well,
so
this was
go ahead
the shooter.
And play that one. This was the shooter. But I want you to play in real time this video, and you'll see where I'm getting at, though. As far as why U.S. law makes that a justified shooting.
Okay, Vince, you keep changing the subject. We're arguing about whether or not, when the first shot was fired, if he was out of the way. That's all we're arguing about right now. It's not about whether or not the shooting... We're not arguing whether or not, based on the totality of evidence, the shooting was justified. We're arguing the one fact of the case. Can we agree that he was out of the way when the first shot was fired? I did, and we already played it.
You haven't played that. Play it again.
I literally just played it.
I don't want you to look at the angle. I want you to count the amount of time that he had to decide what to do when that car
We're not arguing about the totality of evidence, whether or not the shooting was justified.
Okay. I tell you what, I'll give you...
You keep changing the subject. All I want to settle right now is, was he out of the way of the car when the first shot was fired?
Okay, let me give you a hypothetical. You're standing in front of a car, and a car lurches in front of you.
You keep changing the subject. No, you're changing the subject again. It's a yes or no question. So
no, it's not a yes or no question.
It is a yes or no question. It's the one detail.
Because I want you to answer this question. If you're standing in front of a car and it lurches at you, would it be reasonable enough to think possibly that car might hit you? Yes or no?
That's not what we're arguing right now.
Yes or no?
You're not answering my questions. Why the fuck would I answer yours?
Okay, if your friend was in a car, you're standing in front, he accidentally hits the gas pedal, would it stand to be in reason, regardless as far as to how far it moves, that you might get hit with his car? Would you not jump back?
Vince, you keep dodging the question. I'm not answering any of your fucking questions until you answer mine. Can we agree that when the first shot was fired, he was out of the way of the vehicle? I just gave you a screenshot. I just gave you a screenshot. You can literally see where his feet are in relation to the car. That's where the first shot was fired.
That's the wrong person.
That's the shooter. Are you insane?
But I'm talking about the person in front of him. So take a look at the vehicle.
Have you been drinking tonight?
Oh, good God Almighty! She was about to hit a person.
Vince, how much have you drunk tonight?
Excuse me? I'm not drunk anything today.
Oh, are you fucking sure?
Nothing. All
What
I've
have you been
had
smoking?
is this cheer wine.
What have you
All
been
I've had was this
smoking?
cheer wine. Huh?
What have you been
I'm not
smoking?
smoking weed. A cigar, like I normally do. Hold on.
Dude, I literally gave you the screenshot. The shooter is right next to the fucking car when the first shot was fired.
I don't.
I'm not
care
talking about the guy in the
screenshot.
foreground. I'm talking about the guy in front of him.
timing. 2 freaking seconds here. Okay?
You're changing the
It stands
topic
the reason
again.
that he
You're
could have
changing the
possibly
topic
been
again.
hit.
You're changing the topic again. We need
We're
to
talking
settle.
about the same
We
thing.
need to settle
You're
this
arguing
detail.
semetrics that he was out of the way, and I'm arguing the fact that he had 2 seconds to decide.
That's fine. That's fine. You can argue that.
He was going to get hit by
That's
the vehicle.
fine. You can argue that. That we can grant that. We can even grant it. All I want to know is if we can agree.
I'm not arguing.
Can we agree when the first shot was fired, he was out of the way?
He was not out of the way. I don't agree.
I literally gave you the screenshot where he was.
In fact, there was 2 people standing there.
Please show me
Okay.
how in the fucking screenshot you can see both of his feet to the left of the vehicle. How the fuck was he not out of the way?
There's 2 people. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do.
The one guy in the foreground is right next to the car. He's trying to grab the door handle.
I'm gonna go ahead and play this here for you. Hold on. Let me.
The video you sent me has a body cam where it got knocked out of the way, so it shows nothing.
It shows it there, okay? And this is the point that I'm trying to make there. I didn't say it was a smart idea. I just said it was by U.S. law, it's justified. Justified doesn't mean he made the right decision.
We're not arguing that right now. We're arguing whether or not.
All right. We'll
so you disagree. So you disagree that he was not out of the way when the first shot was fired.
I disagree that he was not out
well,
of the way
then
with
you're
the first
insane.
shot.
Then I'm sorry, you're insane.
If he was out of the way, how in the world is he supposed? How in the world did a bullet hole?
I literally showed you how that's possible.
If he was on the side,
I literally showed you how that's possible.
He would have had to curve around in order to shoot the window.
Well, by the way, if you look at the screenshot, I sent you, it looks like he did that.
There is a front face in front of the window. And you're forgetting one other thing, okay? You're forgetting one last thing. The fucking headlight, the fucking side mirror as well. You're forgetting all about
Vince.
that.
Okay, Vince. I'm directly in front of my camera, right?
But you're not even going to play
I'm
the
directly
video
in front of my
did.
camera, right? My camera's pointing at me?
Yes, your camera's pointed at you.
Watch this. I'm out of the way of my camera now, right?
How long did it take you to
I'm out of the way of the camera, right? I'm to the right of my camera?
Okay.
I'm to the right of my camera, right?
Okay. The whole point
I'm to the right of my camera,
nothing.
right?
You're out of the way of the camera.
So if the camera was coming straight forward, it would miss me. Correct?
Yes, it would miss you.
Okay. This is a BB gun. It's not a real gun. If I were to point like this,
put that away.
Is the gun aimed directly at the camera?
Why in the world would he lean in front of the vehicle? That means his head is still in front.
Is the gun aimed directly at the camera?
Cuz, will you put that gun away before? It doesn't matter if it's a BB gun. You're going to get a community strike, dude.
Is it aimed at the camera?
Cuz, you're going to get a community strike if you do that. Put the gun away, dude.
Is the gun aimed? It's a BB gun. Is the gun aimed at the camera?
Cuz, you know the trolls are going to go. Will you just put it away?
Okay, would miss me if it came straight forward, but I'd still be able to shoot the camera from this angle, right?
You're doing that shit, man. You're gonna get a community strike. You know good and well those trolls will go and report you saying you got a gun despite saying a BB gun. All right, jeez.
Well, you can show a gun
I guess I'm just gonna have
even
to
if it
agree
were
to
real. You can
on
show a
this,
gun
okay?
on YouTube. But anyway,
all right, I'm okay. We'll just have
So,
to agree
even
to
if
disagree. But would you at least agree with me that she did not make a good decision?
Well,
She did not make a smart decision.
Sure, it wasn't a smart decision.
in-
Well, here's another aspect of this. You mentioned the guy was in front of a car and got hit beforehand. a few months earlier in another case.
He got hit in June.
Yeah. So this is another aspect if you're going to try to argue self-defense. It
didn't argue
becomes
self-defense. I didn't argue self-defense. I'm arguing justification.
the justification would be self-defense.
No, it's not
Yes.
the same thing.
Okay, sorry. Then how do you justify it? It's not self-defense?
Okay.
Then how do you justify the shooting?
I'm going by U.S. law there that he was justified in
If it's not self-defense, then what's the justification of the shooting?
The justification of the shooting is that he had to move out of the way of the vehicle. He had a reasonable expectation that he may get hit by the vehicle.
Dude,
the point being, he's not going to be
You
charged.
are on something, and you're not being honest with all of us.
I looked at the video.
What is in that cigar, Vince?
And I saw this point.
What is in that cigar? I think you need an intervention.
Tobacco. Nicaraguan tobacco. Cuban seed Nicaraguan tobacco. And a goddamn cheer wine.
Okay,
I've not
Vince,
been drinking tonight because I went and trained after my live stream.
Okay, Vince, if you're going to say the shooting is justified, there has to be a justification for the shooting. So it'd have to be to protect someone else, to protect the community, or to protect oneself. So self-defense. So it would have to be. Okay, so then you're arguing that it's self-defense.
I'm saying that the justification that he's making is for self-defense.
Okay.
In my opinion, let me finish what I'm saying there. He could have simply moved out of the way without shooting there. That I will straight up acknowledge, which is what he should have done. Okay? But the fact of the matter is, and here's the thing. He wanted to kill her. That's a fact. And he's arguing for self-defense. He can get that. And he can get the justification.
So
and guess what, cousin? There ain't shit you can do about it.
So look, we're not going to agree on the fact that the first shot was fired after he moved out of the way. Okay, so we can't agree on that. Agree to disagree, whatever.
Right.
What we can agree on is, one, he should have moved out of the way. Two, he absolutely should have known better since he's already been in the situation before and he got fucked up for it. So, and he kept shooting after there was clearly no threat to him or others.
That's correct. I will acknowledge that.
Now, based on the preponderance of evidence, he deliberately put himself in harm's way, and he kept shooting when there was no justifiable use of force at that point. How is he going to argue self-defense?
He deliberately did it. He just wasn't. I think he was just being an idiot for putting himself in front of the way.
Okay, look.
He shouldn't have shot. Okay, let me
finish. You need. So look, the self-defense case goes out the window when, one, you put yourself in a situation that is going to require force. That's why, in most states, there is an expectation to de-escalate. Even in stand your ground states, there's an expectation to de-escalate. So if there's somebody who is accosting you in some way, say, like, let's say you're in Florida or Texas, stand your ground state, and some guy's like, yo, I'm gonna fuck you up, motherfucker. Like, if you say, oh, well, why don't you pull out your gun then? I got my gun, pull out your gun. If you keep escalating things and deliberately creating a situation where you're going to have to use your gun, that self-defense case goes out the window. Even in stand your ground states, there is an expectation where you try to de-escalate and avoid having to shoot. If you deliberately put yourself in a situation where you're going to have to use force, you can't use the self-defense case anymore because you literally orchestrated a situation where you are going to end up killing somebody, and therefore it's not self-defense anymore. It's just murder. Or at least manslaughter.
How did he attack? Okay, how did the officer?
He was standing in front of the car.
To drive in front of the car.
He was wrongfully standing in front of the car. So that is against policy. That's against the department policy. He had already been in that situation before, so he would have known better. Yet he still decided to stand in front of the car. Secondly, you can only claim self-defense if you act in a manner that is in line with self-defense. So if, like, let's say somebody was punching me, right? Somebody came up, punched me in the face. I can hit them back. Now, if I knock them out, they're out cold, and I keep pounding their head in over and over and over again until, like, they're dead, and there's nothing but pulp on the pavement, you can't claim self-defense anymore. That first strike that knocked them out is self-defense. If I keep pounding their head in until they're dead, that's no longer self-defense, that's murder. Which is what he did. He shot, he was out of the way completely, kept shooting. Clearly there's an intention with the shooting that was not self-defense, that was malicious.
Right.
So, like, at the very least, this is like a manslaughter charge.
I don't agree with, okay, I've already said in the very beginning he shouldn't have been standing where he was standing. He should not have fired the 2 shots on the side. He shouldn't even have fired at all. He should have just stepped to the side here. Now, with that being said, let's look at it from her end. If you have an officer standing in front of you, is she justified to just start driving towards him?
Well, no, I'm not saying she acted perfectly. What we're arguing here is whether or not there's justifiable use of force.
That's my whole point there. It's 2 idiots meeting each other. Literally.
That's fine. What I'm saying is this is clearly not justifiable use of force. Look, the cop was doing something wrong. Even though she was doing something wrong, he knowingly was doing something he shouldn't have been doing. And
she shouldn't have been as well.
And his actions were clearly malicious. It wasn't self-defense. It was a malicious attack against her.
And he's making the argument that he was in defense of his life there.
Right, so that's why he kept shooting when he was completely out of the way. Right?
And U.S. law, and like I said, regardless as far as to him standing in front of it, U.S. law is clear on justification of shootings there.
Okay, so if somebody hits me and then I knock them out and then I keep pounding their head into the ground, that's self-defense?
There ain't nothing you could do about it there.
So if somebody punches me and then I hit them and knock them out and I keep punching them until they're dead, that's self-defense?
Excuse me? Well, we're not talking about punching someone in the head.
Well, right, we're talking about somebody who shot, and you could argue the first shot, he could have plausible deniability that it was self-defense.
He shouldn't even have shot the gun to begin with, and he should not have been in front of the vehicle.
Look, so
was
that's my point. Based on the preponderance of evidence, he doesn't have a reasonable case for self-defense. Because one, he shouldn't have been in front of the vehicle. He has had experience personally where he would have known at this point he should not be standing in front of a vehicle. So he orchestrated a situation where he would have had to have, like, you know, shot her, supposing that he couldn't have moved out of the way in time. And 2, when he did move out of the way, he kept trying to fucking shoot her. So, like, clearly this isn't a case of self-defense. So, like, I think the guy should at least get a manslaughter charge.
Okay, so you're saying that even though he stood in front of the car, do you feel that he baited her to drive forward in front of her? To drive forward towards him? I'm sorry, but if someone's in front of my vehicle, the last thing I'm going to do, whether they have a gun or not, is drive forward. I don't want to hit them. I don't want my insurance premiums to go up. Look,
if you're an officer and you know this is a risk, why are you standing in front of the car? Like it's just like, look, there are plenty of things that criminals do that police have to make sure that they kind of, you know, protect themselves against. One of those things is not standing in front of a car. Because, yeah, somebody can just take off. So, if you know that, going into the situation, why would you orchestrate a situation where you may have to actually shoot the person? Like again, the main duty of a law enforcement officer is the protection of life. So, if you're going to create a situation that would put you or the other person in danger, then you are failing your duty as an officer.
Yes, he completely failed his duty.
Okay.
I already said that.
So how does he have a plausible case for self-defense? He completely failed his duty. He orchestrated a situation where he was putting her life in jeopardy. And he maliciously attacked her. He was out of the way completely. By the time the second shot rang out, there is no debate. She was totally right next to him. There is no fucking chance her car could have moved sideways. It's not a future space vehicle. He kept shooting. So he was shooting at her maliciously.
Right, but U.S. law says that he can claim self-defense.
He can make any argument he wants. We're debating whether or not the shooting was justified. He can make that argument in court. Anybody can make whatever argument
by
they can.
U.S. law, it is justified.
Yeah, look. He could say space aliens took over his mind. He can make whatever argument he wants in court. That's his right.
Well, I mean,
we're arguing whether or not the shooting was justified. And again, it seems like you're agreeing with me based on the preponderance of evidence. The shooting absolutely was not justified. He failed his duty as an officer. He created a situation that would put that woman's life in jeopardy. And you agree, he was maliciously attacking her. By the time the second shot rang out, there was no reason for him to keep shooting.
Okay. But did he make her drive towards him?
So no.
Yes or no?
No, he didn't make her. But you agreed.
There you go.
You agreed. He created a situation that would put her life in danger.
Law is concerned. Like I said before, the law should be modified to take into account what you're saying. But if it went that way, George Zimmerman would be in jail. Kyle Rittenhouse would be in jail. There'd be a lot of people in jail. But like I said before, if he was in Canada and did that, yeah, he'd get a manslaughter charge. But this is America, and literally speaking, and you're going to have to understand this, people in America could get away with a whole lot of shit that you couldn't get away with in other countries.
Yeah, that's because that's because of the Trump administration being corrupt, and they're going to try to argue that these are federal agents and bullshit like that.
They don't need to argue. He has immunity. He has flat base. Federal immunity.
So first of all, he has federal immunity. He doesn't have immunity from state prosecution. So if state prosecutors want to go after him,
the state can't prosecute.
They can. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Federal immunity only applies to federal charges.
They will, they will attempt to do so. It will go nowhere.
Well, we'd have to see.
He's going to.
So they'd have to argue. They would have to. They would have to argue.
He is going to walk scot-free with
they would have to
argue.
They would have to make the argument that these charges have to be applied in federal court. So that could go up to the Supreme Court to decide whether or not that's the case, but we'll see.
The Supreme Court is full of conservatives. It ain't going nowhere.
Well, that doesn't mean they're not necessarily going to be sympathetic to this case.
He's going to skip free like Kyle Rittenhouse. He's going to skip free like George Zimmerman.
By the way, Kyle Rittenhouse, George Zimmerman has nowhere. It's nothing like this. I don't know how you can compare those situations.
I mean, it's a similar case to where he's making an argument, a very wishy-washy argument for self-defense.
No.
And
Kyle Rittenhouse had a solid case for self-defense. First of all, he did not do anything that would any rational person would think would antagonize a crowd. They were the ones who initiated contact with him, and he used as much restraint as is reasonably expected of somebody before he started shooting, and people kept coming at him. And the one guy even had a gun pointed at him. So Kyle Rittenhouse had a very easy case for self-defense. Same with George Zimmerman.
But you got one problem, and this is the same argument I'm going to make with the officer. He should have never been there at all. He had absolutely no training in security, criminal justice, law enforcement, or anything. This is a kid basically running around with a gun, okay? He shouldn't have never been there, much like that officer that shot that lady.
Oh, my God.
He should have never been there to begin with there.
Okay, I think we've exhausted this conversation.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll see if he gets state charges.
It's been a while since we debated. Why don't we debate about something else other than this here?
Yeah, maybe next time.
All right. I'm going to finish. Well, my cigar's done gone out, so.
All right.
All right. So.
All right. Well, thanks for the chat. Until next time.
Yep.
Take care,
Peace and
Vince.
soul.
Oh, boy. That was something.